Good evening, team. Welcome to the Fit Mama Dynasty team call. It is March 20th. It's a Monday night. I'm surprised I remembered that, but I was actually looking at my calendar just now, so that's fine. I'm super excited that y'all are all on here. I'm actually really excited to be face-to-face with you guys because I feel like I've been walking around my house talking to a toddler for days. Even though my husband's home, he's been in the garage most of the time doing like man stuff, and there's not much conversation happening there besides, are you in labor yet? No, not yet. Are we going to the doctor yet? No, not yet. Kind of conversations, really. It's one of those things. So I am super pumped about the challenge group. It is going freaking awesome. Everybody is engaging and posting, and there's so much encouragement and stuff going in there. I'm seeing a lot, like Jamie's starting to post on her wall again. Tiffany is being consistent as a boss on her wall. Cassie has officially hit Success Club 8. Whoop, whoop. She signed one coach, I think at the beginning of the month, and then she signed some customers. And then our newest coach, Mandy, who's not on here because she lives in California, so I think there's a pretty big time difference. She actually signed her first coach today. So that's pretty exciting, pretty pumped for her. She's kind of been coaching for a little while, like coaching with like personal training type deal. And this was just like a next step for her. So kind of like Cassie, she's been doing this for a while on her own, and then all of a sudden it's just like wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So that's super awesome. It's super great to have people that are kind of just making it happen, because that benefits all of us with team volume and elite points and all of those things. They're going to help us as a team grow and expand, have access to more things corporate wise, which is really freaking awesome, because who doesn't want to be recognized by corporate for being like, you know, up there in the team status? I think it's awesome. What else was I going to say? Okay, so New Orleans. I'm going to talk about this real quick. Kayla no longer wants to take part in the house. She's not going, I don't think, because her shirt business has gone. Kayla Doss, she's the one that I rented it with. The total tax title and license for this place is $1,400. It sleeps 8, so I'm going to try to find 8 plus so that the costs are lower. It does have a full kitchen. It has a back patio. It has, I think, I'm not for positive. I'll have to look again. I know it's got a set of bunk beds. It's got a queen size bed, and I think it has another queen size bed. It's got a full shower, all of those things. So it's going to be great for the people that are going that aren't taking a spouse. Because it can be like a big girl party. We'll have meetings and stuff in there. You know, maybe do like team dinners in there, something like we can make a sign-up list. Different people can cook on different nights. That'll be our central location for meeting and gathering and kind of going over what we're learning in session, et cetera, et cetera. If you have not bought your ticket for Summit, they are still on sale. They're $100 cheaper right now than they will be, I think, after this month. The dates are July 13th through the 16th is what we have reserved. I think we're going to go down a day early and then probably leave a day late. But we're going to try to find other accommodations for people that are traveling with their spouses or bringing kids, just so that there's some private quarters so we can like shut doors and, you know, shut them away and not mess with them. We're also going to try to find things to do as a team, because if you went to Summit last year, you know that there's a lot of downtime. If you don't participate in everything, which I probably will go to the workouts that we sign up for once it gets closer and we choose that. I probably won't be working out, just depending on how soon she comes. But I will also have her with me, so I'll do a lot of video taking and a lot of that kind of stuff. But I'd like to have some kind of like team sit down gatherings where we are doing like some group bonding things, getting to know each other better. We can send our husbands to the golf course or the bar or whatever and just be like, get out of here, I don't want to see your face right now. And just have girl time. I'm going to do tanks again, or t-shirt or something for all of us, as like a, hey, we're so cool. You know, like church camp style where we all have matching t-shirts and stuff. But that's kind of what's on the agenda. As we get closer, I'm going to, what? Go lay down. It's bedtime. Go lay down. It's bedtime. Or I'm going to go turn your movie off. Yes, go lay down. I'll be going July 11th through 16th. If anyone's wanting to go 2 weeks before, just let me know. Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to try to get 8 people in that house so it's cheaper for everyone. Just to keep costs down. We'll try to cook as much as possible and then maybe have like a big team dinner night, and we will look into reservations ahead of time. The one thing I don't want to happen at Summit this year is it to be a giant cluster like it was last year. I was totally stressed out, and I think that's because I didn't plan anything and I didn't really know what was going on. So I want to have like a team planning session where we're all kind of talking about what we're comfortable with, what we're not comfortable with, who wants to cook, who doesn't, pairing up, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the plan for Summit so far. I will get more details as I look into more rental places, and we get that figured out. What else? I'm trying to think. Usually I have a list. I think that's all for right now. Are we driving? Yes. It's only, I think, 6 or 7 hours from my house. Yeah, it's probably a lot farther from your house. The plan is to drive. If someone doesn't want to drive, there will be plenty of us that have cars. So that will be something to note. But let's see. If you need help, let me know. I'm good to stay in the rental dates that we have for. Okay, perfect. I'm going to do some more investigating on that and see how much it's going to cost us to put a down payment on something else.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So for new coaches that are wanting to go, oh, hi, little baby. For new coaches that are wanting to go to Summit, it's past the point that they can earn the ticket for this year. It'd be for next year, correct?
I don't believe so. I think they can still earn it. I'm not positive, though. That would be something I'd have to look up.
Hey, share that you shared with me, that you tagged me in.
There is a thing. There's a competition. I don't know if they've already done it. In the Beachbody Champions page about how to earn a free ticket to Summit, as well as like some other perks. So that might be something to share with your new coaches. I've just been telling mine to hit Success Club as fast as they can in the first 3 months. Go lay down, or I'm gonna turn your movie off. So we'll find out. If not, I might go in and split the ticket with them if I can, just because I want them there, because I think it'd be cool. And as our team grows, that'll be something that I can kind of afford to do. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I will write it down. New coach. But the way that they changed everything.
Starter program.
Huh?
Called Success Starter Ticket.
Yeah.
Looking at it right now. It says only coaches that enroll by January 31st and qualify for Success Club in their first 3 months will be eligible to receive a Summit 2017 ticket. Coaches that enroll on February 1st or after and qualify their first 3 months will be eligible for it next year.
Okay. That's good to know.
Other than whatever the competition y'all were talking about is.
Okay.
That's what it says. It's FAQ. Summit FAQ is for Success Starter is $90.99. 90.99.
Perfect. Okay, that's good to know, because I think I've been telling them that wrong. But if they earn it in the first 3 months, then maybe the tickets I think are only 100 something.
195.
They've gone up. 195. So we'll have to work on that. Maybe that's like an incentive thing. I don't know. I'll have to think on that. Okay, so tonight we're kind of going to talk. Alyssa's going to kind of lead us. This is more for the newer coaches that are not on, so they'll have to catch the recording. But we're kind of going to talk a little bit about the 4 vital behaviors. And I was actually working on the new coach welcome form, because mine deleted itself somehow with everyone's information. Talking about the importance of the 4 vital behaviors and making those the center and the foundation of your business. Taking care of yourself first, sharing with others, getting your personal development in, and then being excited for other people as they're doing things. One of the things I think we neglect the most as coaches is really celebrating people's success. And that's why I'm kind of loving this challenge group that we've got going on now, because there is so much celebration of what everyone is doing, the effort that people are making. It is just unreal. Like, even if you don't want to participate, I think seeing other people be excited for other people is getting the ones that usually don't participate to participate more. And that's the ultimate, like, what we want as coaches. It's easier to do that when you run challenge groups with other people, because like Alyssa went live today, Katie went live today doing her plank challenge. I haven't gone live yet. I'll go live after our call. And it just it takes that little of that pressure off of your shoulders of having to go in and comment on everyone's thing and like everyone's thing. You know, it's just super beneficial. So if you haven't run a challenge group yet, I really encourage you to plug into this one. Post, comment, share anything you find interesting, and really take away some stuff. This is like the supremo group to save things in a file to share in your next groups. It's like there's so much information. The thing Alyssa shared today about the change in like almond milk and like the container change, the change in alcohol container consumption, that's super handy. These are just things to save and to use in your groups. You know, just any health facts you pick up, water facts. I'm running a water challenge right now, and I'll share those facts similarly in here. I just haven't had time to today. All right, Alyssa, go ahead and take it over, girl. I will mute myself.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the vital behaviors and what that means as a new coach, and then also what a power hour looks like as a new coach. So I wrote down literally, like, I just have little chicken scratch notes for you guys, nothing fancy. So my number one recommendation when you're starting out is to get a notebook and a binder and somewhere to keep all of these notes and the training stuff that you print off. I print everything because I just like to have physical paper that I can write on and take notes on. But you also want to have like a binder, or like this is what I do my tracking in right now, something like that. And then your notepad and your phone, when you're doing your personal development, if you're reading or listening to it and you hear something, you're like, man, that was a good nugget or a gem, just put the quote in your phone or put down like what it inspired in you. Because when you're doing your posts, if you're doing PD, then a lot of your posts are going to come from personal development. And then now that Beachbody is doing the 30-day or 30-minute, 30-hour, 30-day program, right when you sign up, you'll get an email from them with a quick start guide. And that is something that I would send to you anyway. So I would take that to heart and print it and fill it out with all of the information that you can. And then as a new coach, you'll do a getting started right call with your sponsor coach. So whether that's me or Katie, we'll get on the phone with you after you've completed some of those basic things and go over that. And I also sent my new ladies the 30-day action plan. So fill that out as best as you can. We can go over that on your call too. So Power Hour as a new coach. Power Hour is what we do to move our business forward. It's something that I recommend as a new coach doing at least 6 days a week, maybe 7. Because when you're in that building phase and you're really getting started and finding challengers and finding people to work with, excuse me, consistency is so key. So we normally say like the power of 3 rule. You want to do at least 3 of these things in the beginning. So you're going to want to add at least 3 new friends on Facebook. Instagram, I would do just like a massive ad of people, and then get some new followers that way. And then you're going to want to comment and like on 3 to 5 posts and engage with people. And it's really important when you're commenting on people's stuff that you don't want to just say, oh, cute baby. You want to say like, oh, your baby's so cute. How old is he now? Or something that makes sense with whatever they're posting. Or if they're asking, I love it when people ask for advice or recommendations, because that's like they're asking for people to comment. So throw your opinion in there. And then you want to be messaging 3 new people. So inviting is one of the 4 vital behaviors, but as a new coach, we don't want to be like spamming people with just cold invites. So what I mean by a cold invite is those messages that you open your inbox and they feel so icky when you read it. And you've probably gotten these because so many people are doing MLM businesses now. So a cold invite would be like, my light is so weird. You open your inbox and someone is like, hey, I'm doing this group. Do you want to join me? Do I know you? You haven't, asked anything about what's going on in their life. Like, what if my dog had just died? You're going to message me and ask me to join a group. Like, you want to go to their Facebook page. You want to be in the know with kind of what's going on with them. I know that that's just like the ickiest feeling to me when I get messages like that. So we don't ever want to be those people. So we're never scamming people.
Or when you get messages, it's like, hey, I decided to start selling this. I get those with the lip scents a lot. Hey, I just started selling this, and I just thought, you like lipstick, and I had someone send that to me, and I was like, I never wear lipstick. My lipstick is chapstick. I'm constantly posting about how I don't wear makeup. And it's just like one of those things, like investigate before you're just like, hey, I thought that you really like this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like you don't want to just cold invite someone, especially, if they just, had a loss in their family or they're going through something, I don't know, like their dog died, you don't want to be like, hey, join my free clean eating group. I would message them and say, hey, I just saw your post and I'm so sorry to hear what happened. I'll definitely be praying for you. I hope that, you find your dog, if their dog's lost, whatever. Something like that. You want to be concerned with how people are doing in their real life, and you don't always have to message them about Beachbody. So in the beginning, when you're just trying to reach out and reconnect with people, I ask my new girls to make a list of 100 people to reach out to. Not all at once. Start with like 3 people and just message them and see what they've been up to, how they're doing, people that you used to work with at an old job, people that you, I don't know, just people from your past, people you went to school with, stuff like that. See how they're doing. And then that is kind of like your inviting behavior as a new coach. So you don't need to blow people's inboxes up with invites just yet. It's all about reconnecting and building that relationship first. And then for vital behaviors, we kind of talked about it already, but the first one is be proof that products work. So you want to be doing your workout. You want to choose a program and stick to that. Follow the calendar. Do your before pictures. Do your measurements. You're like the ultimate challenger. So if you're in the challenge group, you better be posting. I'm not expecting, brand new coaches to add people this round, but you're kind of like in an apprenticeship mode. So you want to take note of like how we run the group. And I'm not saying like we know everything by any means. We just kind of do what we feel is best. But take note of how we check in with people and know that like what we do in public, we also match in private. So if we're calling people out on a Facebook post in the group, we're also messaging them. So if you've ever gotten a message like that from us, you're not the only person.
When I tell people I'm a stalker, I really am a stalker. If I'm tagging you in a post, I'm really going to shoot you a text message and message you. And if you ignore me, I might leave you a voicemail. That's just how I am. Look at Kayla. Yep, she's a straight up creep. Yep. It's just like something you have to own.
You're doing. If you don't let us know, like, hey, something came up and I'm not going to be able to, I don't know, participate for a couple of days. That's a perfect opportunity to ask one of your challengers, hey, I'm going to be unplugged this weekend. Can you run the group for me? Introduction to coaching right there. Just throw them in there. And then you want to be drinking your shake every day. One of the most common objections that I get in Shakeology is the price of it. And I understand, like, I thought it was super expensive too before I tried it. And before I felt, the way I do from drinking it so long. But like, we can't ask people to do something that we're not willing to do ourselves. So that's just, I think comes with time and feeling more comfortable addressing that. And another great resource that we have in our group is in the photo album section of Fit Mama Dynasty. Go there, and there's a whole photo album on addressing objections from Bonnie Engel. She's like the number 2 coach in the company, I think. And she's just a little firecracker, and she's amazing at addressing stuff like that. So burn those little nuggets into your brain, and just be real with people. Like, sometimes they can't afford it right at the moment, but okay, we're getting derailed here. Then invite. As a new coach, that means just reconnecting with people, being genuinely concerned. And then recognition is the third vital behavior. And as a new coach, recognition would just mean, like, you might not have challengers yet, but if you see someone, I don't know, like a girl that you used to go to school with and she just, I don't know, got like her dream job or something, message her and encourage her and be like, hey, that's super awesome that you just totally went for it. Recognition when you do have challengers would be, like for the point system that we're doing in the group, we're going to do a leaderboard, and we're going to, shout out to people that are rocking it. And then the prizes are going to reinforce that behavior of checking in. And that encourages like the good community feeling and the good vibes that we have going. And it always feels good to be recognized for something that you work hard on. And then personal development is the fourth vital behavior. If you're looking for personal development recommendations, go to the files section. There's a ton. If you want like a specific recommendation, message your coach, ask someone that you think has good nuggets of wisdom, and just ask them, hey, what are you reading? What do you think would help me? I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z.
There's also a Team Audible account that is in I believe it's in the photo album, and the login and the password are there to all of the books that I have bought over the last probably 6 to 8 months. You're welcome to use any of those. Don't buy anything on my Amazon account or I'll kill you. But you're more than welcome to plug in and listen to whatever. There's books from business style, girl boss, Christian, just kind of different things that I've walked through over the past year that I've bought books on. And every time I get new credits, which is coming up, actually I should have a new credit coming up like this week. I'll buy a new book. So maybe we could go in as a team and be like, all right, what book do we want to listen to this month? Because I know that there's a lot of you that get on there. The thing that I will tell you about using the Team Audible account, remember where you're at in that book, because there's a bunch of people that get on there and listen, and it changes your spot to wherever they're at. So it might throw you off a little bit when you're in like chapter 2 and then somehow you're in chapter 27. Just keep that in mind. On the inviting thing, this is what so many people struggle with because it feels overwhelming. Even as far along as I am, I've been doing this for almost 2 years. Personal inviting is one of those things that like pulls at my heartstrings, makes me sweat. And personal inviting is when you see someone on your wall that inspires you, that you just get so many good things from. Shoot them a message and say, hey, I absolutely love everything that I see on your post. I look for you in my newsfeed. Be honest with them, be open with them, and don't be afraid to say, I think that you would be amazing at what I do as a coach, because literally my job is inspiring, encouraging other people as I'm learning to take care of myself. And if nothing else, they'll say, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I get that a lot from people that I have never met in the Women in Christ group that say, I love seeing your posts. I love seeing your real life unfold and et cetera, et cetera. Even though I know they're not interested in coaching, it's so nice to hear that something that I've said resonated with them. So if nothing else, it starts a conversation and it puts you on their radar. So they're going to look for your stuff and they're going to look to see, more about what you do as a coach and what is coaching and why do you love coaching and why do you think that they'd be good at it? Those are all questions that start coming into their minds. And a lot of people, like Mandy, one of the new coaches that I have, I started talking to her at my husband's 10-year class reunion. And she and he went to high school together and were actually neighbors growing up. And I want to say I was pregnant with Reese. So it's been a long time. Maybe I wasn't pregnant with Reese. Maybe it was after that. But it's been a long time. And she had talked to me about it, and I talked to her about it, and I said she'd be really good at it. And then she had another baby, and then the conversation kind of stopped. And then all of a sudden, here we are, 2-3 years later. I think it'd have to be two years later. And now she's a coach. So just something to keep in mind when you're having conversations with your challengers who are not coaches. That is a great time to let them know how they inspire you, that you're so proud of them, that they're doing awesome things, because your best challengers make the very best coaches because they are plugging in. They're doing exactly what you're doing. They have no idea that they're doing what you're doing, but that positive feedback, those positive affirmations, when you finally go, hey, I think that you would be an amazing coach. Not only do you get your products at 25% discount, cheaper shakes, cheaper shipping, but you could also make income off what you're doing, off of inspiring people, encouraging people. Those are people that you need to continue to make connections with. Don't just sign them and leave them. Sign them and plug into them. And I'll show you this. I have my board of people these are the people I'm currently working with. These are my discount coaches. These are my new coaches. And these are my other coaches. I keep a running list of people so that I can check in with them. I know Alyssa has one too. So I can check in with them. I can make sure that as a coach, I'm doing my job of saying, hey, what do you need this week? What can I help with you? It's not always going to be an every week thing. And I have some people that I message, never message me back. But it's me putting myself out there saying, hey, how can I help you? What can I do for you? What do you need from me? What motivates you? Because what motivates me won't motivate them. But what motivates them is going to get them to plug in more. It's going to get them excited about sharing and all of that. So don't look at inviting as that icky, spammy, salesy thing. Look at it as an opportunity to have a conversation with someone that you admire, with someone that you want to know more about, with someone that's in your same walk of life right now, or maybe with someone you have nothing in common with, but you just think they're cool. It's just having a conversation. Don't think of it as anything more than just having a conversation, and it will take a lot of the pressure off. Don't put yourself under so much pressure to get a challenge pack sold every time you have a conversation. Because if you go into a conversation with a person, I don't know how many times I can say that. We need to have a drinking game conversation. I said it like 10 times. But every time you sit down to message people, don't do it with the intent of selling anything. Do it with the intent of talking to them and finding out, how they're doing, what's going on in life, what they're struggling with, or whatever, something funny about their kids that you saw. Because how you think when you message people comes across in what you say. I've learned this a lot. In the beginning, and I've gone back and I've looked at messages from when I was a very new coach. I'm like, oh, these are things I would never say, because I want to be the kind of person that if I see you in public, I'm going to talk to you just like I would in Messenger, minus all of the emojis, because you'll see my face.
I've started doing voice messages so much more, and I feel like that has it saves a ton of time, and then 2, it's very personal, and they can hear the inflection in your voice on certain words, so you don't need emojis because you got your real voice. But I know that I always struggled, when I first started, I didn't have a sponsor coach to kind of guide me and lead me in the right direction. Thankfully, I was plugged in with Team TKO. So I had those scripts to work off of, but I was like, do I really copy and paste? Like, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to do that, that you weren't supposed to copy and paste. So anytime you see a script, that's like hey, take this, make it sound like you. Don't copy and paste it. And please, if you're going to write someone's name, make sure you change the name before.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh, those are
Pay
great.
attention to what you're sending. I highly advise you to type it out first if you're going to mass send a message. And then if you decide, I don't add names in there because I'm super bad at forgetting about that. Don't copy and paste it directly from Messenger because sometimes it'll have the time and date from the previous message you sent 2 days ago. And they'll be like, wait a second, that's weird. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, nothing makes me sweat more than sending mass messages to people and there being a typo of like someone else's name that I've sent to everyone. And I'm like, oh gosh.
We've all done it. So.
We've all done it. And I'm sweating just thinking about it.
I know.
So Google Keep is a great place to save things. Google Docs is a great place to save things. Your desktop on a Word
Notepad
doc.
on your phone. That's the
Notepad. Anything, just save it. And I do this. If I think of something like an invite post to a challenge group, and there are people that have done my free group, maybe didn't follow up with me after I followed up with them, I'll sit down and I'll type out something that's heartfelt to me, and I will send it to these people. And I'll just be like, if you're interested, let me know. If you're not, that's okay. I'll put you on the list for next month, and I'll check back with you because I know that your goals were this. And you can personalize it that way with the conversations that you have had. Say, well, I know that your goals were this, and I'd love to help you achieve that, or I'd love to help you start making steps towards that. That's one way to do it.
I know that in the beginning, knowing what to say was like the biggest thing. Like, I just felt like I didn't know how to talk to people. I don't know. I just felt like really awkward, and that's totally normal. Just look on their Facebook page, see what they've been up to, and ask them a question. Like if they just went on a trip, hey, how was your trip to Disney World? I really want to take my family. Can you like give me some tips, or like what was the most fun? Just ask like about them. People love to talk about themselves. So if you can talk about them, that's great, because then things like, well, we call it forming. So family, occupation, recreation, and message. So you'd ask about their family, what they do, and then it'll come out, like you're a coach, recreation, the trip they just went on or whatever. And then your message would be, hey, I have this free clean eating group, or I have this free water challenge group coming up. Do you think that's something that you might want to do with me? It doesn't have to be, hey, buy this challenge pack for $1.99. Let's go. No, that will scare people.
And then a good thing that's an intro to those messages is being present on other people's posts. Not just liking things, but going in and making comments. So when you shoot them a message, it's not like, why is she messaging me?
Random.
Oh my gosh, you look like y'all had so much fun at Disney, and then when you shoot them a message, you're like, hey, we're thinking about going to Disney. Can you give me some pointers, or what was your favorite part, or what was your thing? That's what ties it all together. Oh, sorry, that clip. That's what ties it all together is, like Alyssa said, being as present on your social media as you are in private message. So commenting on people's things. Not only does that benefit you because you start showing up in their newsfeed more, but it also makes them aware, again, that, hey, she's interested in something I'm doing. Or it puts positive vibes out there. If nothing else, you're saying, hey, I really like what you're doing. I'm excited for you. I love that life's going great. Or, if they're having a rough day, putting some kind of encouragement on their post. Something heartfelt, not spammy. Take your time. I don't encourage doing like mass amounts of this if your heart's just not really in it. But Tiffany's really good at doing this. She goes into people's posts and she comments on them, and it's not just a way to go or you're awesome. It's a you're awesome because of this, this, and this, or I've seen this about you and I love this and this, and it's actually adding value to what they are talking about, showing that she cares.
One of like the best pieces of advice that I've ever heard about transitioning, like especially on Instagram, if you don't really know that person in real life, if they wouldn't recognize your name popping in their inbox, you don't want to message them because they're going to ignore it, one, because they don't know who you are and they think you're just trying to sell them something right off the bat, because there's so many lipstick hoarders and rap people out there that are doing the same thing. That's why this business is so much about relationships at the heart of it. So that's why being vulnerable and being transparent on social media, being real, like, look at me, I'm a mess right now. And I will be like this. I'll take a selfie right now and post it. It's just about being you and being authentic and being genuinely concerned about people. So if they wouldn't recognize your name or your Instagram handle, hey Reese, shouldn't you be asleep, miss? If they wouldn't recognize your Instagram handle or your first and last name pop up in Facebook Messenger, that sends off those icky feelings. So it's all about matching, again, what you do in public with what you do in private. So I hope that makes sense. Do you have questions about anything? We're just over here rambling. I was trying to think of stuff that helped me as a newer coach. My biggest thing is messaging. It still is messaging, but
the biggest piece of advice I can give to anyone starting out, get a normal, and she said this already, doesn't have to be anything fancy. There's 1,000 different trackers in the Fit Mama Dynasty files page. If that works for you, use it. But track your consistency. I'm a pen and paper person. I really try to be high tech and use other things, but I have to hire an assistant for that because it's just not my deal. So I literally will go in, go in, I'll put the date at the top, and I'll write down what I'm doing. So Monday, February 20th, check into Coach Online Office. I've got a new coach. Write her name down, her coach number, what she's getting started with. Put a couple of points that I can talk to her about in the beginning, what I need to do with her, send her the new email, have a getting started right call with her, put her in training, etc. I write down my customers. Who are the new customers in my Coach Online Office? Write their name down. What did they get? When did they sign up? Did I send them a message? I put a check next to it. Customer follow-ups. Did I have any customers respond to any messages? Who are they? What did we talk about? Put a check by it. It's just as simple as that. I write a to-do list, things I need to do today. I put my to-do list in the coach page. I know it's a lot. That's what I do. I am trying to run a bigger business than a lot of coaches starting out. And that's perfectly okay. There are simple power hours in there where you're adding 3 to 5 new people a day. You're sending messages to 3 new people, inviting them to a group, like simple. Whereas I'm sending maybe 10 or 15 messages a day. I'm doing 30 follow-ups a day because I'm at the point now where my income, I'm trying to grow my income to be like full-time. I've got a little bit more time. I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit more. And hitting Success Club 10 to 20 is a priority for me each month because that's kind of income I can't live without now. Have I been slacking this week and last week? Yes, absolutely. And that's probably going to continue to be a norm. But, when I follow up with people, I write their names down. Okay, get it. I write their names down next to it. Doesn't matter if it's coach, doesn't matter if it's challenger, doesn't matter if it's someone I'm just talking to. What did we kind of talk about? If it's someone I need to continue to have a conversation with, I'll highlight them. I use lots of highlighters. I'll highlight them so I know to go back the next day or in 3 days and say, hey girl, how you're doing, whatever. That is the way that I do it. This is a 3-subject yellow notebook. This is literally from January until now, and I'm almost done with it. Something that I can keep, something I go back and I look at people that were in a free group that maybe, I talked to, they didn't have the money. I'll invite them to another free group. It's how you don't lose people. And that is one of the most important things, is knowing who you've talked to, because relying on Facebook to keep up with that is really freaking hard. So just write it down somewhere. Stick Post-it notes, something. Do it on your phone, wherever you're able to do it. But that is my biggest tip, and something that has really helped my business in the last 3 months is simply writing everything down, because it's something I stunk at before, like super bad. And you could tell in my paychecks because they were like way inconsistent.
The fortune is in the follow-up.
That's right.
Because it's all about adding value and, really hearing people's needs out. I can't tell you how many people have told me no before and are now in our challenge group. So consistency with Power Hour is key. That's just one thing that, there's days when every single person I talk to isn't interested, but they always come back. They'll always, some people just aren't in that right mindset that they want to work on their nutrition, or they don't want to get active. And that's just life. We all go through seasons like that. But that's why it's so important to be vulnerable in your posts, and you call out to people's pain points, and you want to speak to like the you before you got started. Why did you decide that you needed this? Because I guarantee you someone's going to be scrolling through their news feed and see your post and start reading it and be like, that sounds like me. And then next time you message them, they're going to be like, I've been meaning to message you. I get that all the time when I message people. I was meaning to, talk to you. I've been seeing what's going on, like what you're doing. People are like scared, just how we're scared to message people. People are scared to reach out to us. So that's why it's our job to bring them into our little community. And one thing that we're going to plan on doing sometime, probably once closer to when this challenge is over in the challenge group, is do, how we do like a coaching glimpse. We're going to do like glimpse into a challenge group, and get some of like our Rockstar challengers to get on a Zoom and kind of give like their testimony about what being in this environment has done for them. So, if we do it for coaching, why can't we do it for challenge groups, right? Because we talk about it until we're blue in the face, but I think people sometimes need to see that it's not just us talking about it. So
I agree. Does anybody else have questions, comments, concerns? I know everybody's tired. Monday. I actually have done no work today. As soon as I get a little turd in bed, it's go time. Well, all right. Well, we won't keep you. Thank y'all for getting on, and we hope that you learned something. I'm going to stop there.